Okay, so we should have seen that iodine, which is nonpolar, dissolves in the oil, but not in the water. This is due to a fact where solutes and solvents mix if they have similar intermolecular forces. It is called like dissolves like. So when I say like dissolves like, here's what I mean. Nonpolar solvents dissolve nonpolar compounds or nonpolar solutes. Polar solvents, like water, dissolve polar solutes and most ionic compounds. Now I want you to take a look at what happens when I dissolve I2 or iodine in acetone. You've likely heard of acetone before. Let's take a look. I'm going to take the leftover iodine crystals that were in the water, and I'm going to add acetone to it. Perhaps you know of acetone as nail polish remover. Acetone, which is clear, very rapidly changes color with the addition of the iodine. It dissolves iodine a bit better than the oil does. Acetone dissolved that iodine really well. And you probably know acetone is nail polish remover. And acetone will get nail polish off my fingernail. All the soap in the water in the world won't, because nail polish is nonpolar. So it takes a mostly nonpolar solvent in order to remove that. The structure of acetone, it has a little bit of a polarity to it, but mostly it has symmetry and mostly it's nonpolar. I have other nonpolar solvents that are would be better examples, but we don't have any in stock right now. Alcohols are soluble in polar and nonpolar solvents. Let's take a look at the structure and see why. So I'm going to draw a picture of ethanol. Ethanol has 2 carbons and then an OH group on the end. So it has both polar and nonpolar regions. We would say this part here is a polar region, and being able to hydrogen bond, it is hydrophilic. It loves water, it mixes with water really well. This part of the water, of the ethanol, is hydrophobic. So I can use alcohol to mix with a polar compound, and it'll interact with that end, and a nonpolar compound, which will interact with that end. Now, as the carbon chain gets longer and longer, though, something happens. As it gets longer and longer, it becomes less soluble in water. So for example, butanol is going to have a much longer hydrophobic region as opposed to the hydrophilic region, so it's not going to dissolve in water quite as well.